working on that, finishing up school and getting that second degree down.
What discipline, like what area are you studying to get the master's in?
Sports management. Pretty hard, but got people help me, so that public speaking just get me every time.
Does this help?
I mean, it's normal just being around you guys, but when you have your friends in front of you, you mess up, they cracking up, laughing at you, so it's gonna be pretty hard when you're doing it in the classroom.
How different has it been this year with the new offensive coordinator? I mean, you've been through it, what, 3 now, right? What's been the biggest difference coming into this camp?
The biggest difference is that you just got to learn everything that everybody's doing on the field. So if you play receiver, you play Y, X, Z, you got to learn what the H, the Z receiver doing. If you play fullback, you got to learn what the H receiver doing. It's just different than anything I've been a part of since I've been here.
They got you going out wide for some verticals? You got to have a couple of those this year?
Yeah, trying to. I hope I get open. Let the door to me.
Saban was saying that the offense was maybe ahead of the defense this year. At this point, that's not as common. You probably see it that way, don't you?
I mean, defense looked pretty good to me. I mean, the offense just had more time to like work on the stuff during the off season, like during the summer with 7-on-7. Because you got mostly all the skill guys out there, then you get to work with the offense line too. But the defense, they just out there and they just running their coverage, so they really don't get to work with each other. With the D-line anyway.
What do you see from the running backs this year? I know it's pretty much the same group, but how is it different this year from last year?
Everybody just focused. I mean, last year we was a good group, but we just weren't focused as much as we are now.
I can ask you about that drill where you got 2 balls in your arms and you got 1 foot going through the.
I mean, it's just a balance drill that Coach Vern came up with. He said he just be thinking about stuff on the way to work. He just wanted us to do it and try it out.
Is that one of the harder ones to do?
Nah, that's about the hardest one we do right there.
Anybody fall?
I know we had a couple of trips. I know I almost tripped one time. I had to save myself.
Saban said you're a player that he can look at and is proof to himself that the process that he's developed works. As, you know, on the field, off the field. When you think back to your senior year in high school, you couldn't play football, to now, how have you grown as a person?
I mean, I came a long way. I mean, going through what I went through, coming from Mobile. I mean, you got to grow up. I mean, you see a lot of different things growing up in Mobile, and you know you got to make a change. You just can't be like no other ordinary guy coming from Mobile. You got to stand out when you're doing stuff like this.
He said Coach said there've been a lot of explosive plays. Have you had some of those?
I'll say I had about 1 or 2, not too many.
But there have been a lot?
Yes, sir. Everybody that's just come from finishing the plays.
Who's making a lot of them?
Amari Cooper, Derrick Henry, TJ, Drake. I mean, the guys who you normally see making big plays. DeAndre White, Christian Jones. You even got Robert Foster. I mean, just a lot of people making big plays.
Did it feel good to get the pads on for the first time?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. I mean, it's been a long time since last year, and everything didn't end good. But we focus on this year, and we just trying to win and be productive this year.
Robert has good vertical leap. Is that maybe one of the better jumpers on the team, Foster?
Yeah, him and DeAndre White, they'll go up and get it. I mean, those boys can jump.
To go back to his question real quick, we see a lot of photos of your son. How has he changed your life?
Man, that little guy right there, man, he make a big difference in my life. I mean, I just don't want to see him, like, I won't say I struggle, but I just don't want to see him mess up where I messed up at. I want him to be better than me.
Is he Duty Junior?
Nah, I tried to call him Tootie, but that didn't work. So we just called him, me and his mom just called him Junior.
When you say, you know, not major stuff that you messed up in, what are you talking about? Like what mistakes would you want to see him avoid?
Like just being out, being with the wrong crowd sometimes. Schoolwork, just be more focused in school.
How have the tight ends been used in this offense compared to previous years on the different offensive coordinators?
Like you said, how the tight ends are used. I mean, they pretty much use the same. I mean, they doing basically the same thing. It's really not a big difference for the tight end. It's more like a difference for the H and the receivers and all that type of stuff like that.
Couple more? Any more?
talked a lot last year about how much you like blocking. Is anything changed in that respect? You still like?
I mean, I love blocking. I mean, I've been doing it all my life, ever since I was a little kid, so it's nothing major for me. I mean, been knocking helmets off.
You ever give Amari any hell for having more touchdowns than him last year?
Nah, I don't. I really don't even look into it. I really didn't know until they told me about it. And I just want to be productive like that this year, or at least try to be productive like that this year.
Thanks, Diddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.